you. I am so excited. I cannot wait.
Listen,
Kerry Walton. All right.
that's
Got your
great.
fans out there. Yes.
We love that. That's so cool. I listen, and anytime it's anyone that's outside of my immediate family or my wife, I'm pretty pleased. So that's pretty good. So
Yeah. All right. I think we're live now. So we're not officially started, but we are live. So
sweet.
hope
Bobby,
you
we
find them anyway.
we take like 5-10 minutes to like let people come in and get settled, and then
Yeah, no,
we'll
I'm here.
kind
I'm
of take
chilling.
off.
No, that's cool. I like that. Let me see if I can share it out.
Okay.
But hey,
Yeah,
everybody, as you're coming in, hello, howdy doody.
Bobby, if you go to my page, you'll see the stream on there, and then you can share it to your own page if you'd like.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get to it from my band page first, maybe the music page.
Howie, I'm sharing to
Oh,
Spring Nuts, and then I will share to the Spring Nut Cafe,
Hi,
and
Julie.
then
Hey, Bobby.
How are
I
you?
love your music.
Oh,
I'm totally
thank you.
obsessed.
Oh,
Totally
thank you
obsessed.
so much.
You must
Thank you.
hear
I
that.
mean,
You must hear that a lot.
not enough. So thank you.
No,
I
we are
appreciate
live on
that.
Spring Nuts, Brian.
Hey, everybody.
You see it, Stan?
Yep, we're good on Spring Nuts.
All right, let me see. See, yeah, but mine's on a lag, so
yeah, I can only share it to a group, Bobby, so I cannot
I
share
got it.
Okay,
I'm
got
sharing it. I'm got it.
Okay, so we're good.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, now I see it on.
Is this
Hi, Julie.
at all?
Julie,
Hi, Ryan.
you
Hi,
can
Stan.
Hello.
chastise me. You can slap my hand next time I see you because I didn't include you on the email this afternoon, so I apologize.
Damn you, Ryan.
I know.
Damn.
Damn you, Scuba Steve.
So you know what? Let's see in the meantime if we can have someone comment.
Want me to do it?
We're seeing comments on my page, and some of
So
these
that
people are people I don't know. Could somebody go on Spring Nuts and
I'm on Spring Nuts. Yeah.
We're seeing comments on my
okay,
page.
no, wait, yeah.
Some of these people I don't.
Okay, okay.
We're getting echo.
Yes, I can see comments on it.
Oh, Bobby,
wanna
Connie is watching. She says hello.
Hi, Connie.
Got nothing.
In all
Connie's
capitals.
the best.
In all capitals.
Yes, all
That,
caps.
that
sorry.
sounds right.
That
It was
is Connie.
very long. Bobby.
Connie doesn't do anything in not capitals, I think.
Right,
It's all capitals with
exactly.
Connie.
That's her life. That's her personality. All caps. Connie, all caps.
Mhm.
That's it. I love that. No, she is absolutely. Hi, Connie. You're the best.
All right. We got a comment on Spring Nuts. Pete Mamone, Outlaw Pete. All right.
Outlaw Pete. What's up, Pete?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, can see it there.
They should be going.
I'm fortunate to be able to have seen Springsteen with Pete, but I've also gotten to see fireworks at Epcot with Pete also.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's quite the
There's an
dichotomy
overlap.
there.
It's it, yeah. I'm a big as you can picking out the stuff in the background. I'm a huge Disney nerd as well as a big spring nut as well. So it's a lot of overlap for Pete and myself in that regard. But hey, Pete, how's it going, everybody?
All right.
The Mike Rocket.
Oh, Mike, what's up, buddy? Gotta get to the Jersey Shore.
Wordle. Wordle?
Your Wordle. I call Rocket.
Connie says, no, you are.
Aw, thanks, Connie. Okay, I shared it out in a couple of spots. So
Okay, great.
And Bobby, later, once I pull it down and get it up on YouTube, Howie will send you the link via email so you can put it out in any which way you want to.
great, sweet. Thanks, guys.
Well, it's 7:04. We'll give people a couple more minutes to come on, and then we will get rolling. So, Bobby,
7:04 by you.
I was looking at
Yeah.
your web
I'm like, I'm late.
I was looking at your
You're early.
You're done for the now, but you were out on the road for a while. Is that what was?
Yeah, we've been kind of on and off. We doing a bunch of like weekender trips and doing some longer runs. I think the longest with the band we've done at a clip is like either 10 days or 2 weeks. And then like I was saying earlier, I don't know if it was before we logged on or not, but yeah, all self-booked. And then the Europe, we were gone for this time. Rachel and I were gone for 2 weeks. My wife came with me. We just played a bunch of acoustic shows. Last year was 3 weeks, and that was a lot. Being gone for that long, doing it and trekking, and that was a bit. But it wasn't all shows every day though. For that, that was a bit of tourism in the way and stuff like that along the way. You know,
Mostly East Coast, I'm assuming, or you get out into the Midwest or West Coast at all, or
we've been as far west as like Chicago
okay.
and like Ohio, and then as far south as Florida. Uh, one of our songs, "No Amens in This Van," off the last record, is about the time we broke down in Miami, Florida. Our van just decided to die in Miami, and there's worse places to break down
Yeah.
than Miami. Oh no, we're stuck here for 3 days. We made it work, but then we made it to Chicago in the same trip, but we also broke down in Chicago, and that was less fun. Still fun, don't get me wrong, but it was a little more the situation, like how we broke down and all that was a little more dire. We broke down in the middle of an intersection, so we kind of had to push the van and the trailer out of the way. And well, Miami, we broke down on a highway, so we're splitting hairs, I guess. But it was a fun trip nonetheless. So it's always eventful with us. Connie knows it's always something with us. So we have a good time.
I'm 60 miles west of Chicago, so if you ever get back out here, I'd love to come see you.
Oh yeah,
person, so
absolutely. Yeah, we'll be back.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Sweet. Yeah, we've been Chicago, Indiana, all that way. We'd love to get to California at some time in the next year as well. So we're trying. It's have guitar, we'll travel. Just try to find the right timing and the right opportunities and things. I teach music during the day as well. It's my daytime gig.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
I
get
teach
into that.
Yeah, I teach guitar and like music at a private school, and then I also teach like guitar, piano, drums, music theory, recording,
Wow.
all kinds of stuff. If they throw it at me, I do it, And then I go to people's houses and do music lessons. I do a lot of Zoom lessons like this, like privately. So if any spring nuts want to learn guitar or piano, I will do it over Zoom. I would do it.
Guitar lessons, Bobby.
I got
chat,
you.
We'll talk.
That's seriously, very reasonable rates. But yeah, but no, it's fun though. I when I graduated, I went to William Patterson for music and in North Jersey. And when I graduated, I was I'm going to focus on writing and playing and touring, and not going to get a chance like this to be young and doing this. But then our good friend Jenny Cat, who's an amazing singer-songwriter from Jersey. Jenny, like the animal cat, CAT. She was leaving the position I'm at, and she was like, "Well, this is a great job. Would you want me to recommend you for it?" And I've been there for 8 or 9 years now, and I love it. And if you told me when I was in school if I'd ever be teaching, I don't think I would have believed you. But it's been a lot of fun, and I really do enjoy it, and connecting with students of all ages. I teach everyone from 4 years old up to full adults. So it's it's a lot of fun to connect with people and to kind of share what I've picked up along the way. My time playing and trying to help people on their journey.
Where'd you grow up, Bobby? Are you a Jersey Shore guy or Jersey guy?
East Brunswick, so
Sure.
Central Jersey. I say we exist. People say Central Jersey doesn't exist. I say we do. Yeah, East Brunswick. I was born in Livingston, and then we lived in Garwood, and we lived in Roselle Park for a minute, and then I came here in '99, and I'm still here. I'm in East Brunswick, and my parents are still here. My wife, we went to high school together here, and her family's still here, and it's great. 35 minutes to Asbury, an hour
Route
to the
18.
city.
Route 18.
Route 18, and always a shit show. But usually that end's not so bad. Going to Asbury, that's I can do that in my sleep at this point, I think. But
So
yeah.
a good friend of mine, John Alba, he said if I mention your Take No Prisoners record, I can receive half off your first 10 lessons. Is that true?
You know what? Yeah, I think that means John gets the other half of the bill. I think that's what that means.
Oh, okay. That sort of makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So my mom, before every show, hi John, love you, buddy. Before every show, my mom tells me to take no prisoners. It's like go out there, get them kind of thing, and that is my attitude about it always. Go out there and just do my best, and go out there with my attitude and tear it up. So one of my first acoustic records or compilations of different demos and things like that was called "Take No Prisoners." And as a picture, my best man Elijah Reese took, another friend of John and I's. Me sitting on the side stage of the Stone Pony, looking very upset for some reason. I don't know. I'm at the Stone Pony. I'm having a good time. I'm 16. I'm playing, but I look very depressed. And yeah, I was like, that looks like an album cover. So yeah, "Take No Prisoners" was one of my first early compilations of things. So
Nice.
Sort of like
deep
Billy
cut.
Joel's. It's sort of like Billy Joel's. Don't take any shit from anyone.
Yeah. That's it. I love that. That's it. Yeah, especially when you're out there, playing original music, whether it's to 1 to 5 people to anywhere from, up to 20,000 or more, however many people. You got to go out there and you're doing your thing, and you have to, go out there with that attitude and that sort of that edge. That's what I like to do.
All right. Well, it's 7:10. Let's roll. We'll officially get started. We've been talking this whole time, but we'll officially get started. Welcome to everybody watching now on Facebook and watching later on YouTube. This is a Spring Nut Cafe hosted by Ryan Hilligoss. We got Mr. Goldstein, Mr. and Mrs. Springnut over here. Julie definitely wanted to be here tonight. So, and we've got Bobby Mahoney as our guest. Bobby, it's a pleasure to meet you virtually in person. Seriously, I would be curious in taking some guitar lessons. I've tried over the years, so maybe you can help me. The sad thing is, I love music. I love live music. I love going to concerts, listening to music all day. I can't read music. I can't play a thing to save my life. So,
Listen, if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So we'll talk. Absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. It's great to meet you, Ryan, and I've known Howie and Julie and Stan for years, so it's nice to see you all. So thanks for having me.
Glad
Well,
you
you
Well,
talk-
I'm glad to have you.
You talked a
Very
little bit about growing up in East Brunswick. Tell us a little bit about yourself as far as any kind of background that you'd care to share.
So I'm 30 years old. Like I said, grew up in East Brunswick, New Jersey. I grew up playing ice hockey as well. That was another passion of mine. My dad had me on ice skates when I was like could walk essentially. I still play adult league with him. We played last night. I got a goal, but we lost, so whatever. I teach music during the day. We were talking about it before in case you're tuning in. I teach music during the day. I like to kind of, say I'm a musical Indiana Jones. During the day I'm a professor teaching music, and then I'm off adventuring and things like that. And I have a great time doing it. And been writing songs since I was in 5th grade, or trying to write songs since I was in 5th grade. And I taught myself the guitar at 10 to write songs. That was kind of like what my goal was to write. It was my parents' music tastes from Springsteen to Bon Jovi, The Dead, and the Stones, was Neil Young. This kind of stuff I was raised on, and I kind of wanted to do that. So I started trying to do that.
Were your parents musicians at all? Background, any kind of musical background?
My mom can sing and did like musical theater and tried to play the guitar when she was a kid. My grandfather played guitar a little bit, not much, but like, my mom tried and didn't really take. He kept her guitar around, would mess with it a bit. But my great grandfather, he played guitar and banjo. I never met him, but we think that's where it comes from, if anywhere. My dad is amazingly supportive, and he helps me carry the guitars, but he's not so musical inclined himself. They're both big music fans, though, and huge supporters, and just like they felt like live music was part of my education growing up, and being cultured and seeing stuff. And, so from an early age, I was very privileged and, fortunate to get to see a lot of my heroes and things like that pretty early on.
I was
Cool
asking because
parents.
like almost everybody we've talked to has like Willie had a crazy background growing up in Buffalo. His grandpa was
Yeah.
a pianist on vaudeville.
Yeah.
Reagan's mom sang with, was it Les Paul? She sang with Les Paul.
Oh, Reagan did. Yeah, too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
I was
amazing.
just
Yeah.
curious about your background. So you started writing songs at 5 years old. You taught yourself to play guitar
Fifth
at
grade. Fifth
fifth
grade.
grade. Sorry,
Wow.
fifth grade.
Yeah,
I
it's
was gonna
okay.
say
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
I don't want to be, yeah, at 5 years old, I don't think I was doing much of anything. So, no.
Oh, you said earlier you're a Disney person. You're ice skating, so you're busy watching Disney
That's it.
and
Yeah, I'm definitely a big Disney nerd as well. I'm a big theme park enthusiast in general. Shout out Six Flags. Uh, yeah, Disney, Universal, all that stuff. I'm a big fan of the mouse. If we get to pick one evil corporation, that might be mine. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the mouse. And yeah, growing up, going to concerts, theater as well, Broadway, again, Peter Pan, Kathy Rigby was like an early memory
Oh,
growing up.
yeah.
Uh, and yeah, going to New York Ranger games, going to the Garden or whatever, and yeah, that's it. My dad was a huge Rangers fan growing up, and when he didn't jump ship when the Devils came around, so no disrespect, but and that's where as much as I bleed Jersey and all that, I'm a Rangers fan. I'm sorry.
No
uh,
Yeah,
apologize. No apologize.
Bobby. There's a Bob Mahoney. I'm assuming that's your dad.
that's my dad. Yeah, they're
He
both
said
my, and
he
yeah.
says he can carry your guitar for you anytime.
Thanks, Dad. I'm very lucky. And no, serious, I couldn't have more supportive parent. My sister as well, and my wife, and my sister's boyfriend, and my wife's family. They're all extremely supportive of what I do. It's not the whole, you know, uh, it's not the Rosalita thing. With my father-in-law. No, he's supportive. He gets it. He's not mad about his daughter marrying a rock and roll guy in a rock and roll band.
Lucky you.
I seriously, I get it. That's it. I'm very,
Alright,
very
you.
lucky. Yeah.
So tell us about, as you're getting older, like when did you start playing professionally or semi-professionally and your development to where you are now?
Yeah, so I played in like a bunch of like East Brunswick talent shows. In seventh grade, I had my gym teacher and my band teacher backing me up. We did Highway to Hell.
Love that.
And then,
Wow.
so yeah, that was, I mean, fucking awesome, honestly. But
School of
then
Rock.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, that's from that to me actually doing that and being like the Jack Black character now. Yeah, it's all kind of full circle. Uh, but then I played trombone in the school band too, and that was some parts of it. But then I started like playing in Asbury Park when I was like 15. I did one of the Stone Pony Sunday showcases. Shout out to Kyle Brendel.
Wow.
I forgot the call. I remember sending in. My mom helped me package up demos to send in, and then I remember we were watching this is the place to mention this. We were watching the Promise, the Darkness documentary, and on the caller ID on the TV popped up, and it said the Stone Pony. And I just about shit myself.
Wow.
And then that this was on like a Wednesday night, and I guess they had a cancellation or needed somebody. So that Sunday, I got to play the pony for the first time,
Wow.
and that was October 10th, 2010, I believe. And
For that
I
date.
remember it. It's a good date, and yeah, yeah, big moment because for me that was growing up was if I could play there one time, that was like, oh my God, that would be a dream. And I'm fortunate that Kyle kept having me back, and I've gotten to play there many times, so it's still home to me. Good time to plug Light of Day, Friday, January 16th. I'll be playing at the Stone Pony with my full band, so make sure you get out to that, grab your tickets.
Bobby,
Supporting the
well, you mentioned that. I'm jumping in ahead here, but since you did mention it, are you going to have your after party again at the Berkeley that Friday night?
Yes, yep, the midnight mass is happening. Yep, that's right.
I just want to say I'm older. I don't like staying up late, but last year I stayed out at the Berkeley to 2:15 a.m. because Bob did
Wow.
this wonderful after show at the Berkeley, and it was
That's
great.
awesome.
People were dancing, and there was a whole
Yeah.
different people playing, and it was wonderful. So I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. So if you just want to talk about that for a minute, we're jumping ahead, but since we're on that now, talk about that.
Yeah, so Light of Day in general. So again, so I started playing the pony in like 2010,
Right.
and then I think it was my first Light of Day going as a fan was 2011. Alejandro Escovedo played acoustic.
Right.
That was pretty formative, and his guitar player, who I never learned maybe someone else can tell me the name of the guitar player that played with him. He broke a string in the middle of the set and just kept playing. And that was pretty formative to me because I do that frequently. But then that show, that was the first night I ever got to talk to Bruce outside the Paramount, waiting for him, after sound check with my CD in the cold with my mom, 15 years old, and, he was very sweet. And then I entirely broke down and was like shaking and crying after talking to him. I was like, oh my God. And then I remember Willie Nile walking past us in the convention hall. This is before I knew Willie or anything like that. And I was like, Mom, I think that's Willie Nile. And then cut to, I think the next year, Rob Dye had me on his open mic at the Wonder Bar. So shout out to Rob. Rob was definitely an early supporter. Between that and he let me play a song, he borrowed my guitar in Toronto for a Light Day Canada. And he's like, well, if you're going to let me use your guitar, I'll play a song, then you play a song. I'm like, okay, Rob, thank you. So Rob's been very cool. Shout out to Rob Dye. But so then I started to get involved more with Durso and Light of Day. For those if you're on the Spring Nuts page, you probably know, but Light of Day raises money for Parkinson's research and ALS and the fight against those diseases. And it's an amazing foundation. I've been very fortunate to take part in the shows in Jersey, Canada, Europe over the last couple of years. And it's a great organization. And not only do they do great work, but we have a lot of fun doing it. So it's a great group to be part of. And so getting to know all those guys over the years, from being a fan to then, weaseling my way on stage into being friends with all these people is, a blessing. And it's not lost on me how cool that is. And your book, Stan, not to skip over that, but the Rock and Roll Tour of the Jersey Shore, I always tell you and Gene this every year, but for those of you who don't know, get that book. It was like my Bible as a kid. And reading about mythical figures like Gordon Brown and things like that. It's like, wow, my God. But then now to be like, we're friends, it's wild. So that's a great book. And
Thank you.
Yeah. So then in high school, I started playing with John Alba. We started a band called Seventh Son. And then we started playing in that
band.
John co-wrote Another Deadbeat Summer.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know. So I know John, I don't mean to deviate, but I know John from the wrestling world and the Nick world. So from the sports world. So I didn't know that. I really didn't know that he was a musician as well with you guys. Wow. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he was. Right. He's 2 years older than me. So he was a senior and I was, as he would say at the time, a sophomore prick. And sometimes he'd hang out with me and talk to me. If I walked into his the senior section at the lunch table, he'd look around, his arm around a girl, and be like, "What do you want? Why are you here?" But then in rehearsal, he'd be very happy to talk to me and write songs and all that. And I'm busting. He's one of my best friends since. But when his sports stuff got too busy, John had to leave the band when he was in Maine and in Florida for a while. But anytime he's in town or we're around, he gets up and jams with us, and we still write together. Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy, multi-talented. One of my brothers for sure.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's the last nice thing I'm going to say about him. That's it. That's as good as it's going to get.
Well, Bobby, since you brought it up, again, I was telling Bobby earlier, I did a deep dive into stuff with this catalog. You've got stuff by yourself. You got stuff with the Seventh Son. I listened to Another Deadbeat Summer. It's got 13 tracks. There's not one skip. It's a banger. Each one is a banger.
Right.
It's fantastic. It flows well. Like you've got a plan there, and it flows. Like the old, Bruce talk about the narrative through there.
Here we go.
Awesome.
There you go. Salesmanship. There you go.
Highly
Showbiz.
recommended. So that was released by Wicked Cool, correct? So if you can talk about that.
Yeah, so Wicked Cool Records is Little Steven Van Zant's record label. It is the name. It is Wicked Cool. It's an amazing label. I've been a fan for many years. Even just connecting to the Underground Garage. I remember as a kid, I would turn my radio on to Q1043 on Sunday nights, and I'd listen to his show, and be like, wow, I'd love for him to hear our music one day, or I'd love to hear our song on his radio show. And I guess our good friend Rebecca Stern, shout out to Rebecca. She used to work for Steven, and she like showed him our music, which is an amazing thing to do, and to go out of her way to get our music to him. And he's like, "This is good." Again, this is all hearsay. I still have a hard time believing any of this because I'm still pinching myself. But from what I understand, he heard the song "Another Deadbeat Summer." There's been 3 versions of that song. We know we have a good thing going. We get more people to hear it. So I think this is the second version that he heard of it, and he liked it enough to put it on the station. And I guess he heard it on the station enough times to be like, well, we should sign these guys. And then he took the Wicked Cool kind of took the last 2 EPs we had done, and we kind of then remixed it with Jeff Sanoff, who's an amazing producer and engineer who does all Little Steven stuff and works with Jesse Malin, among many others. And then we remixed and remastered the record from the ground up. And yeah, I'm pleased with how it came out, honestly. And I'm the hardest one to please as far as all this stuff goes. So if I'm happy with it, that says something.
Well, I don't know. So this leads me to, again, every single track is great. Moth to the Flame, I probably listened to that 10 times a day. Lorraine, I was like, wow. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. I'm not blowing smoke. I had to stop and I had to rewind it. And I was like, what did he just say? If you don't mind, I'd like to read my favorite stanza out of here. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, please.
Okay,
I'm interested. I'm interested to one if you're looking at the actual lyrics, or to see what you think I said. Okay,
well,
good.
I'm looking at Genius, so they may be wrong.
Okay, let's see.
You were Abbey Road. You were the dark side of the moon. You shapeshift with me, and power is 2. You were gone, my yellow brick road, and on the impossible past. Signor and the Queen. You were. Well, grow out of this. Insomniac, the heat, and let it bleed. So you're referencing the Beatles, Floyd, Against Me, Indigo, Elton, Stones, Brian Fallon.
The one that got weird, Powerage. So there's an AC/DC reference in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
So they're not totally
Genius
100%.
No, I'm gonna get my lawyers on that immediately.
But yeah,
it's all references.
Just the fact you put all that together, I was like, what did he just say? I'm not kidding you. I had to go back and listen to it 4 times to be like,
it's cool.
The fact that you're able to put those all together in the way that you did, it's amazing. I'm not
Thank you. I appreciate that. We recorded that one initially in 2017. I think that was on the older half of the record, and that was on an interesting thing. Was trying to figure out how to make these 2 records feel like one thing, and I'm happy to hear that. Sounds like we did a good job with that. At least Ryan thinks so. So I'll take that. But yeah, Lorraine, that one we did at North End Recording in Clifton, New Jersey, with cousin Frank Mara, who's played bass with Brian Fallon, and was recorded a bunch of some of the Gaslight side project things like Dead Swords and things like that. So yeah, we were definitely keeping it in that world, and Brian and Gaslight are some of our heroes for sure. We love them. So
hi, Brian. If you just popped up and I just didn't know who I was listening to, I heard Gaslight, I heard Green Day, I heard straight rock, I heard Bon Jovi, I heard some Bruce. If I didn't know, I was trying to keep my mind blank and just hearing the influences. So they're all there. So kudos, man. Great job.
Yeah, I wear it on my sleeve. I'm pretty, open about that. So yeah, that's it. That's what we do. That's all my influences in terms of, or a lot of them, and what we try to do. But I try to put our own spin on it, or I tell my students a lot. We're not going to invent any new chords or chord progressions for the most part. There's 12 notes in music. It's been done, but it's a vehicle for me to express myself. But I haven't use those chords yet, or well, how can I say this thing in a way that's my point of view on saying something, and all those heroes of mine, they, none of them necessarily reinvented the wheel, but they all spun it in their own interesting way. So it's pretty awesome to see. Again, growing up with the stuff I got to grow up listening to. I mean, my parents did a good job of putting on good stuff in the car. So Bad Medicine on the way to kindergarten, that kind of, you can see a Friend of the Devil by the Dead and Casey Jones in 4th grade. Those spoke to me for some reason. I don't know why. I turned out the way I did, so it's their fault.
Well, your latest single, you've got an actual single, a vinyl single, which you have behind you there. Smoke and Drive.
Smoke and Drive.
Released,
Shout out to Connie Freestone. Connie Freestone did all this art, took the picture, and did the graphics.
Love it.
This picture, so
beautiful.
The back would make you think I'm driving a really cool hot rod because she did put me in there. But then the front is actually in my Honda Civic outside my house at 2 a.m. when we got back after being on the road. And on the last night of any road trip, we typically don't stay over. We just drive home from wherever we are usually. Girls got to save money. So we, all of us, so we're driving back and I'm like, Connie, before we go, can we, can I bother you to take a couple pictures? And we're sitting in the car and we didn't. So this came out a month ago. Sorry, Ryan, I interrupted your plug to plug Connie. No. But came out November 14th with Wicked Cool Records, and it's the first pressing has this beautiful red.
Nice.
So get yours on our website, BobbyMahoneyMusic.com. And
it's freaking great. It's
thank you.
Fucking great.
Smoke and Drive is the A side, Machine Gun Blues the B. Was there a debate? Did one come before the other, or were you thinking which is the A? Were you thinking old school? Okay, A side's going to be the hit single, B side's going to be this, or was it those were the 2 songs that you had?
Well, so Smoke and Drive, I co-wrote with our friend Matty Carlock, who's another great singer-songwriter. Check out his record, Jailbirds. He produces hip hop, he produces pop, rock, punk, hardcore, all kinds of stuff. And he sent me a track to write to, which is one of the first times I've done something like that, where someone sends a guitar and drum demo essentially without a melody or words, and I had to kind of fill in the blanks. And I took a pass at it, then we sat together and he was like, this is good, let's clean this up a little bit, let's make this more concise. And then we did a pass with the band, and then Jeff came to a rehearsal and we worked it through with him, and then so it's like a block of marble. You sculpt it as it takes shape. I'm proud of that too. And so Machine Gun Blues is actually a Social Distortion cover. And Wicked Cool, their formatting, they do for the singles, they do A side, original, B side, cover. I said, can I do 2 originals? And they're like, no, we want a cover. So I said, okay. So we've been playing that song for a couple of years now, on and off. We don't do many covers, but we do 1 or 2 a show, typically, depending on the set or how long we have, because our sets are anywhere from 3 songs to 2 hours, depending on what it calls for, what we need. Usually it's anywhere from a half an hour to 40 minutes is our bread and butter, I feel. And in that case, we do 1 cover. So we have a kind of a rotation of ones that we kind of pick out depending on what the night calls for, or what the audience kind of feels like at the time, or what we feel like will go over best. And Machine Gun Blues, which is a really cool Social Distortion song, we decided to do for this because we felt like it genre-wise lined up well. And I saw them do it on Conan O'Brien's show in 2011 or something like that, maybe. So it stuck out to me as one of theirs that I wanted to do.
Cool. So when you are writing, do you prefer to write by yourself with a partner? Are there different? What is your? And if you don't want to answer this, some musicians don't want to talk about their process.
I refuse. How dare you? Don't find the curtain.
Screw it up, Brian. You screwed it up.
No,
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out.
That was the one thing we said we wouldn't talk about. No, it depends. Every song is very different, and I kind of love that, because there are songs that were kind of just me start to finish. But that said, that though, it's if the band's on it, it's not just me, because there's tons of other people's fingerprints all over it. But in terms of writing, a lot of times I will just kind of start myself with an acoustic guitar. Lately, I feel like anytime I'm late for work and trying to leave the house is when I get an idea that I have to sing into my phone or write down. And I'm a couple extra minutes late. That's fine. But then I do feel like I thrive when I have someone to bounce ideas off of. So like I like to have a bunch of ideas and then bring it to someone like John Alba or Andrew Saul or James McIntosh, the wonderful drummer in the band, or Matty Carlock or whoever else we're co-writing with, and be like they can be like, this is cool, let's follow this, or no, that sucks, don't do that, and then we have some spirited debate because sometimes I'm like, yeah, you're right, or other times we're like, well, let's try it, and then sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and then Jeff puts his finger, his spin on stuff, and so it's definitely I like the collaborative process for sure. If it was just like John Alba will laugh, but if it was just me the entire process, it would all just probably just me being like a C-level Nebraska effort, which I don't think anybody really wants. It's like, oh, that's Bobby just trying in his bedroom, trying his best, Which again, there's an art to that as well, of course, and I do like the element of when I do my demos, sometimes doing more the recording elements of it too. But I definitely like having collaboration and having people to bounce ideas off of. Yeah.
So, getting in the weeds a little bit, are you typing it on notes on your phone? Are you got it longhand with a notebook, like a certain person that we know always carrying around a notebook?
I would say I always carry a notebook, and of course it's not with me right here. I have other notebooks, and I have like a stack of old ones here. So I'm always writing in real notebooks. But I do use my phone apps, my notes app a lot. I use voice memos. So just I've like I don't even want to think about the amount of voice memos I have on my phone, and like that's always my first thing. Anytime I get a new phone is like, but my voice memos are going to be okay, right? And I have like 14 different iCloud things that are redundant, and I'm probably being bled dry for no reason by data. But yeah, I'm very like. But that said, also like a lot of times, if the good ideas kind of cut the line. So there's some things that I'll go back and I'll find like something like, oh, this is a good idea. Why haven't we done this yet? But a lot of times, if I haven't done it yet, there's a reason. So it kind of depends on the case by case kind of basis. But your question though, notebooks and notes app.
Depends on where you're at. If you're driving in the car, you're riding in a van, you're doing whatever. It all depends on your circumstances.
I love collecting crappy hotel stationery, or also I very much like collecting very nice hotel stationery too. Don't get me wrong, when possible. But I like writing having ideas down, and like I come home from school as a kid with this like pockets full of like loose leaf paper with just notes and pages of just lyrics when I should have been paying attention. But I always did well in school though too. So like I just would get done with my work early and then would sit there and write. But I don't write like that so much anymore, and sometimes I wish I did. But I'm more concise, I think, with my writing time. Or like it's not like I'm gonna sit down and write a song now and get my pen and quill and sit there and compose. It's usually something that happens over time, and like I'll get an idea for a title that'll live in the notebook for a minute, or I'll write a chorus or get an idea on the guitar, and then it'll slowly take shape. Or I like to say sometimes they'll marinate, like just kind of let it needs to sit until like a year later I'm in my kitchen humming and I find myself, well, what's that? Oh, that's that other random idea. Why did that now come to the surface? I guess that's ready now, or now I have an idea for what to do with that idea. So I always have songs at different various stages of, I could record this tomorrow. I could work on this with the band tomorrow. I could, this needs a lot of work, and there's nowhere near anyone ever hearing this yet. This is just a lyric, kind of thing, or a riff. So
always found it fascinating. Oh, sorry, Howie, go ahead.
That's okay. It's okay. So I was going to say that, unfortunately, me and Jules haven't gotten a chance to see you live yet, but we are, every time we try to go, it's on a Friday night. So we can't.
We don't go out Friday nights.
Of course, I'll make.
Okay, but we're gonna. We got to get to see. Julie was going to make the request to get you on a Saturday or on a Sunday, but
in the winter.
But I have seen your live videos and whatever, and I've also heard from tons of spring nuts that go to your shows, and your shows are very high energy, very and you can tell when you're on stage, in your element, and I could tell that. I mean, and I would like to hear how you feel being up on, whether it be the pony or whatever. Your energy is tremendous on that stage.
It's only 30, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, but you can tell you're enjoying yourself up there, and the crowd feeds off of what you're doing.
Well, thank you. And that's again, my heroes, like that's a big part of like what got me excited about music as a kid. A very formative memory was seeing Jesse Malin at the Stone Pony in 2010 at one of his winter shows. And like, my mom had never seen him before, and I kind of dragged her out to see him. And then she became the biggest Jesse Malin fan in the world. And like, and then maybe, there's a couple like Elisa in Italy might give her a run for her money, or Annette in Germany gives her a run for her money, and I know a couple others in New York, but and Mahoney's up there, and so am I. Frankly, I love Jesse. He's one of my heroes too. But from Jesse's energy, even still, like, I saw him at the Pony last week, and the energy is still off the charts, and he's amazing. I love him so much. But Jesse, Bruce, Angus Young, Mick Jagger, those are the people I look up to. So that's, what you kind of shake that all up, and that's what I get. But yeah, I just I like visual shows. Like I like watch but John Bon Jovi growing up. I watched the Crush tour live in Zurich DVD more times than I'd care to admit. Same with the live and all of that stuff, and same with Bruce live in Barcelona or live at the Garden '99, and now honest and like Hammersmith '75 and all that that was studying for me, and Green Day, seeing them live. I mean, the way Billy Joe commands the stage too. I also like growing up playing the Pony. I had the band at times, but I also did a lot of solo acoustic stuff. And I did a lot of like Battle of the Bands, like the break contest. It would just me with this acoustic guitar against metal bands. So I kind of had to make it interesting or get the fuck off the stage,
Well, Bobby, speaking of Bon Jovi, we had Williams Honor on last week. They opened a show for John at Madison Square Garden. I believe the show right before that, you opened for John at the Prudential Center in Newark. Right? So
yes.
How did that all come about? How they contact you? What a thrill that must have been to play the Prudential Center.
Yeah, absolutely a dream come true, and just still pinching myself. So from how I understand it, again, from my point of view, and this ties together a couple loves of mine nicely, even combining with Gordon and Reagan's story. I was in Epcot with my family at the Mexico Pavilion. And I get a call, or I get an email from Harvey Leeds, who's one of Southside Johnny's business managers, and business manager to the stars and bagel connoisseur, and good friend Harvey Leeds. And he said, "Call me. He emailed me. He's like, call me. I need to talk to you." So I go over by the bathrooms, I put my margarita down or whatever, and I go over by the bathrooms, and he's like, "This is on like a Monday," and he's like, "What are you doing Sunday?" I'm like, well, I fly back from Florida Friday. I have a gig with the band. We're playing American University in D.C. on Saturday, and then we're supposed to play my alma mater, William Patterson, on Sunday. And that's where I met Harvey. He was a guest DJ on a music business like radio show, and I got to meet him there. And he's like, "Oh, so you're busy Sunday? Oh, okay." I'm like, "What? What's up?" He's like, "Oh, well, I had an opportunity, but if you're booked, you don't want to hear about it, And I'm like, well, like an asshole. I was like, well, what's the gig? He's like, well, since you're asking, we needed a band open for Bon Jovi at the Prudential Center. And I'm like, well, I'm there. We'll do it. Well, he was like, well, what about William Patterson? And I said, well, fuck William Patterson. They have enough of my money. I said, they're fine. Nope. They'll get another band. It's fine. No, shout out to the William Patterson music department. I love them, and they found another band. But so I was like, well, he's like, send me your press kit, send me a couple of videos. I'll run it up the chain and have John look at it or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So the look of pure terror going back to my family's table that I must have had on my face, they're like, what was that about? And I'm like, they need a band open for Bon Jovi on Sunday. And the first song I ever sang in fifth grade at the fifth grade talent show was Wanted Dead or Alive. That also needs to be said because that's how much this all means to me. So then that was the longest fucking hour of my life, waiting to hear back from Harvey to see if we got the gig or not. Because at that point, if we didn't get the gig, that would have just, even Mickey Mouse, I don't think would have made me very happy at that moment. But then an hour later, he called me back. He's like, you got the gig. So then I called James McIntosh, our drummer, one of my best friends. And I was like, hey, buddy, you're going to need a new pair of pants. And I told him, I called the other guys, and none of us could believe it. And then literally I flew back. We played a warm-up gig in D.C. the day before. And then the Sunday we drove my 2004 Ford Explorer with our 5x8 trailer up amongst all the 18-wheelers and down the way at Prudential Center, and when we got to open for them, it was crazy. It was the night that they were running rehearsals for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame show with Richie. So they actually, our set time got moved back, and we didn't end up playing till almost 8 o'clock. And so we played, when we first started, and I told the guys at the beginning, I was like, expect to play to 10 people. Like, people aren't going to come out for the local opener if they know Bon Jovi's not playing until later. Like, expect to play to a big empty room. Like, we got the sound check and we were like, this is fucking awesome. We get to play again? Okay. Like, all right. But then by the time we started, it was probably half full. And then by the time we were done, it was pretty much, we were playing to 18,000 people.
Wow. That must have blown your
Or whatever
mind.
potential. Yeah, it was just still to this day one of the coolest things I've ever gotten to do. And then, so huge success. We got to hang with John for a couple of minutes, and he was very cool. I got to talk about Southside Johnny with John with Bon Jovi, which was like, again, a very rock and roll tour of the Jersey Shore moment for me. And because we were going to play with Southside Johnny the next week for Light of Day Canada in Niagara Falls with Dave Rotella and crew. But then about a week or two after that, funny enough, I was actually at William Patterson for something else, and Gordon called me, Gordon Brown, Williams Honor fame, and said, so we were watching your show, at your set, waiting, and we knew it, we couldn't say anything yet, but are you available May, whatever? And I don't even know he asked if I was available. He's like, we're playing the Garden, and we want you to play with us. That's right. So I got to play the Garden with them.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
And as so that month didn't suck. And I'm forever grateful that that Gordon Reagan for the fact that they called me for that gig, because again, they know a lot of people. They've been around a lot of they know I say this endearingly, a lot of idiots who can play a guitar. And so I'm very grateful that they called me for that. And
was that the first time you hooked up with Williams Honors during that massive
No.
Oh, no. You knew them before that.
Yeah. I've been playing with them for like, now it's like 10 years or so almost, since they almost started. Yeah. And like when they do full band stuff, they call me.
Yeah. I've seen a bunch of shows like that, but the fact that they called you to do the Madison Square Garden show.
And as a Rangers fan, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
like, that was,
and a Knicks fan. I'm a Knicks fan. So,
yeah, okay. So
Knicks and Rangers. So
my dad, again, was prouder than anybody that I was playing, Prudential Center, but he was that much prouder when I got to play the Garden. He's like, you're playing a real place now.
I'm with the dad.
Yeah. No, but it was, it's a dream come true. Absolute. And, I'm very thankful. And, it's one of those things like no one can ever take that away from us. And
I will say one thing that Connie brought up, and I may sound repetitive on these shows now, but it is a common thing. And actually, Connie reminded me because, I've been bringing up that how important the live streams were back when COVID was there, and how you were doing the streams every morning and the 9 o'clock and whatever, and how it kept the music alive during a time where we weren't going to see live shows, and I said the same thing to Williams Honor and Willie Nile when he was on the show and whatever. But it is a common thing that the Asbury music scene kept that thing going during times where we were just didn't know when the next time we were going to get out.
We needed it.
Yeah, we needed it bad.
Yeah. Well, I'd say we all needed it, and it was mostly, frankly, for myself, and like for my family, like, Bobby, you need to fucking play the guitar, do something, please. You're driving us nuts. This man needs a show. We'll set him up, But yeah, I mean, like I felt the same way, and at a time where we all kind of need to figure out what we were doing, it was, we did what we had to do, and we all found ways to make that happen, and like for me was my Bloody Marys and coffee on Sunday mornings. We did it,
Yep.
And I had a great time, and honestly I connected with so many spring nuts and just people from all around the world through that, and so it was a great business decision. No, I was all that way. It all worked out. But no, like it was difficult, and like some of those live streams, there was times where like there was, frankly, moments where I'm like, I was kind of going through it myself a bit, and like my mood, I felt it change directly, from the beginning of it to the end of it, because I was just so, uplifted by people tuning in, and me having an outlet and other people having an outlet, and it was just a lot of fun. And
in a way, it was crazy way, a blessing that came out of this this crazy times, because a lot of people that can't come down and see you live or whatever during those times were able to see the artists every week, and virtually, at least they got familiar with your music. And even actually for us, when we do the serenade, we couldn't do the serenade that year either, and we got the idea from you guys, because when we saw you guys doing the live streams, we said, well, let's do a virtual serenade. If we can't actually bring it to the Pony, let's do the virtual. So it did bring a lot of people together, and it also got us familiar with your music and everybody else's music that was doing it virtually.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Yeah, no, it was helpful for everybody.
Bobby, can we go back to so you play Washington D.C. in front of X amount of people one night?
Yeah.
You go play the Prudential Center the next night to 10 times that amount of people, or whatever the number was. As a performer, like I have no experience with any kind of level of that, but like, how was that for you as a performer, being on stage, that huge of a difference from one night to the next?
So I'll say this, because on one hand, it was like everything you would think, just an insane, like, just, like when I watch Bruce walk up the steps when he starts the show, like my dad always tells me, like, him watching my head pop up from that step was just like, what? Like, so yeah, it's absolutely fucking surreal. The other hand, it was like every other gig. It was you dress for the job you want kind of thing, and you play enough shows in front of, I'll say, less than 18,000 people, and you do your thing, and you're just ready to do your thing. We were kind of prepared, and it didn't feel weird. And people said to me after, not to blow smoke up my own ass, but people said, like, it felt oddly comfortable, or you looked comfortable up there. And I was like, it kind of felt like I was, it's kind of like everything I've been training for. But had I not put in all those, driving to Brooklyn to play to my wife, doing all those things that, playing to nobody over the years, busting my hump for Kyle at the Pony all those years, and I'm, I love Kyle again, but all those stuff, all that stuff, it's all part of it. Us driving to Miami to break down and then to Chicago to break down, it all leads to that type of stuff, and it's all for that. And it's like success also isn't necessarily linear, so that's something else I have to keep myself in mind with as well. That just because you're playing to 50 people this week doesn't mean that might not be playing to 500 next week, and you have to kind of Matt Hogan, who used to play guitar for Willie Nile, and he plays guitar with Tommy London. He's an amazing guitar player. Shout out to Matt Hogan. He once told me, you have to play every show like you're playing the Garden. And that stuck to me, and meant a lot to me and still does. So I try to embody that. So whether we're playing to 5 people or 5,000 or 18,000, whatever it is, or hopefully more eventually, I try to treat every show the same. I try it. Now, playing to 5 people is a lot tougher than playing to 500. Trust me. And giving that same show for how are you doing, Dave? It's hard. It's tough. But we try to, because when we're playing in Indiana for the first time or St. Louis for the first time and 5 people or 10 people are at the show, we have to give them the same show regardless. So I take that to heart, or I try to. One other funny thing about the Prudential Center was, so like we have like these like the wireless units that people use on their guitars, right? They're pretty commonplace now. You buy them at Guitar Center. So we're thinking big stage, this is the time we're gonna run around like crazy and use these fancy guitar wireless things, and because we're an arena band now, of course. We're got to use our arena wireless sound check. It's fine, but luckily I had played enough less than 18,000 people shows to know to keep a cable by my pedal board in case something goes wrong. I have Zach Sandler, who's amazing, but we don't have a Kevin Buell and 12 other people looking out. So I get to be my own Kevin Buell sometimes too. So I got my extra cable there, and I play the first chord of Empty Passenger Seats on the first song, and my guitar starts cutting out the second I start walking away from the mic stand. And again, this is the dream come true. This is a Prudential Center, huge gig. This is everything, and my guitar is not working. So after the first song, I take the wireless, I throw it. I don't think I've ever seen it since. And then I plug my guitar into the hard cable and do the show fine. And that's something that, like, had I not done all those other shows prior, I would not have been prepared for something like that. Because everything that can go wrong will. As anyone who knows with like live streaming and any sort of event coordination knows, everything that can go wrong will. I like to say, going back to Disney, I like to say it's like Toy Story. Performing is like falling with style. It's everything is going wrong, but it's my job to kind of distract everybody and pretend that nothing's going wrong. It's fine.
It's awesome.
I once saw Howie, you might remember Terry Funk, a pro wrestler. Once was listening to an interview with him, and they asked him sort of what Ryan asked you before. What's it like? Some nights you're wrestling in Madison Square Garden in front of 15,000 people. Another night you're in a high school gym with 30. And he said, you almost want to do a better job for the 30 because where no one came out for you that night, they did. And so you really want to play for them almost better because they did show up for you.
Yeah, I love that. It's 1,000% it. There was times where people like I got a good friend Janice Bernadette from Facebook, a good friend of my mom's. There was a time when she came to see us play when Bruce was at the Wonder Bar with Grishecki. Like people made the choice to come see me, and again, the wrong choice probably objectively, but or things like that where people go out of their way to see us every time, no matter what. Because even like on a regular night, you could be at home. You don't have to leave the house. The fact that you went down Route 18 a half an hour and paid X amount of money to come see us play, that means the world. I can't phone it in. Right. There's some nights I'm more into that mindset than others. I'll give you that. But I do try, if nothing else, to embody that as much as possible, or to at least let not everyone know that I'm pissed off about it. Or sometimes when I am angry, that leads to a different show, and that just as good show in some ways too.
Bobby, we've talked about Willie Nile several times tonight. I had the blessing to be in the position to interview Willie last week. Fantastic interview. He's such a great guy, humble, down to earth. The story he told about John Lennon, oh my God, I still get chills if I think about it. Anyway, our friend Jeff Weisberger, he's been swearing by you for years.
I love Jeff.
You got to check out Bobby. You got to check out Bobby. Okay, Jeff. Okay. But
Thank you, Jeff.
He's been preaching your name to me for a long time. He mentioned that there's something to do with Willie and you in high school.
That sounds bad. That's Willie.
Count on Jeff.
I deny all of that. But no, no. So there is. He's right. So I cut my teeth opening for Willie and being his guitar tech for a bunch of years. And occasionally I still do. I will step into the role as guitar tech for Willie Nile when he asked me to. But I skipped my last week of high school to go on the road with Willie as like an opening act and guitar tech. And that was like my first rock and roll tour, really, being away from home, in that regard. We did Jersey, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Ann Arbor. And then the stipulation was they had to get me home for graduation. So my mom, held Johnny Paisano up by the collar. I'd never seen anything like it. It was crazy. And she held him up. She's like, "You get him home by graduation." And they did. God bless them.
It sounds like a scene out of Almost Famous.
It felt that way, and I could write a book. I don't think Willie would want me to. No, I'm entirely kidding. No, but it was such a great time, and I learned so much because I was also the drum tech that night. I was taking apart and setting up the drum set every night, and I was doing a lot and driving the van, and just I was learning a lot, and it was a great time. And they took such good care of me, and took me under their wing, and they still do. Like all those guys, Willie and Johnny, and now Jimmy Bones and John Weber, great band, and Alex Alexander and Matt Hogan, who've been in the band in the past. They've just been that camp's been very good to me.
Well, can you do you care to share anything behind you there? You're in your office in your home. You've got quite the assortment of artifacts.
I do.
Yeah, I want to know about the Bruce autograph. I'm an autograph guy. That looks like a real nice Bruce autograph. So
you just steal anything.
If anything's missing, Bobby, you'll know where it's at.
Yeah. So the Bruce one, my friend Elijah, my best man, got that signed at the Stan. I'm speaking to the right people. He did an event at FDU a couple years at Fairleigh Dickinson, like a poetry and And my friend's dad was the vice president of FDU at the time. So my friend was like, "Give me your copy of Born to Run." It's probably my mom's copy, but it's fine. But and then his mom actually was like talking to Bruce about me. It was like the kid up the street loves you. Bruce was like but yeah, I was like when the fact that the Reese family thought of me to get that signed was very cool, and I appreciate that. And like John Alba got me this for my birthday. I think this is a Born USA tour program.
You weren't even born. Yep.
I was not. No, I was not.
Oh my God.
No, I was not. Unfortunately, no, 95, baby.
Back when they sold actual programs.
Well, yeah.
Our friend Stephanie in Germany made this and sent this to me this week.
Wow.
One of a kind car bumper sticker, which I don't think I can put it on my own car, so I have to figure out who. And I don't think my mom really wants it either, so I have to figure out put on her own car because she's like, "You're my son." So I got to figure out, shoot me a message if you're interested in this, or if you're interested in Stephanie making more of these, because her Mini Cooper in Germany is all decked out in Springsteen stuff. So if you're looking for cool Springsteen car decals, also Stephanie, they'll help you out. Shout out to Stephanie and Dirk and Roz and Petra at the Upstage. Other goodies I got here. I have my Ray Bradbury signed letter there.
Nice. Wait. The letter? Did you write him a letter?
No, so that I did kind of steal.
I knew it.
Not actually. No.
Everyone that's been on the show has stolen something, by the way.
Gordon stole his first record, his Kiss record from his mom. He put it in the cart.
Common thing.
I think I stole a Reese's peanut butter cup at some time. My mom can fact check me on that. But my friend Elijah, the same kid who got me the Bruce autograph, he's like an antique collector. He goes to estate sales. He had a huge record collection for a while. He sold it. But he's just always calling me. He's like, "Do you want this, thing, this old Disney?" Half the stuff in here is stuff he's found for me. But we were at an estate sale, and we're just like looking through this house, and I see this Ray Bradbury letter on the wall. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. As fan of Ray Bradbury's, and also there's a Disney connection there as well. So I was like, okay, great. So I asked the people at the estate sale, I was like, how much for this frame? This frame is kind of nice. What do you think? It was just nothing about the thing inside of it. It's like, how much for the frame? And I got, I've heard they said. So they didn't know what they had. So I kind of stole that. but that's okay. I think they were okay. But yeah, I got all kinds of other cool shit over here. I talked about Smoking Drive.
I see Hank Williams up there.
Yep, I got Hank. I got Kramer's over here too. My wife,
and Hank.
Angus.
Wow.
Yeah, I got then Peter Pan up there.
Oh wow!
Nice. Wow.
Bon Jovi.
And my Bon Jovi, yeah. And then I got Mary Poppins over here.
Very nice. Wow. Wow.
Happy birthday, Dick Van Dyke.
Yep. Shout out to Dick.
That's right.
Batman and Robin, I see behind your head there.
I do, and I have my my Batman and Robin movie clock here. I got all kinds of useless shit. What else do you want? You know,
Bobby, who's the guy in the white shirt and a fedora hat over your left shoulder?
Harrison Ford.
Okay, it looked like Hunter Thompson. I couldn't see anything, but it looked like Hunter Thompson.
That'd be good. I have here's some good stuff. I have a belt buckle that was my great grandfather's from the Civil War.
Wow.
He fought for the Union.
Wow.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, we have, we still have his rifle in my family actually too, and that's, amazing stuff. And I in here you can see my grandpa Santa Claus, very seasonal. There you go.
Nice.
Now I'm pulling shit off the wall. But yeah, so but yeah, so
what's the white coffee mug there behind you? There's a white and green.
Caribbean Beach Disney resort mug that I don't think I used, but I think Elijah found. It was like, you need to have this for some reason.
I've stayed there.
Wait, is this Elijah guy? Is he a flea market hound?
Yeah, if Elijah Reed, if you need anything old or he actually does he has a company called Reese Restorations. They do media transfer. So if you have old media that you need to digitize, he does all kinds of that stuff. If there's anything Bruce or fun, here, this is fun. You'll appreciate this. You can see my fun pants. I got Barry Manilow.
Hey, all right, we're Barry fans. I know how he is.
Barry
No, you're Fanilows.
Fanilows, yes.
Fanilows.
Nothing wrong with that.
My grandmother was a huge Fanilow.
Yeah.
She saw him at. We got her tickets for I think it was her 70th birthday, and for the Garden or whatever. And she remember her telling us after the fact, her favorite song is "I Write the Songs," and she was with a friend, and before the encore, he didn't play it. I'm guessing he played Copacabana and left the stage or something. And her friend was like, "It's over." And she's like, "No, he didn't." And my grandmother was like, "He didn't play I Write the Songs. It can't be over." And then, of course, I'm sure he levitated on stage and played I Write the Songs. And, I think it was great. So
Bobby,
I got my Barry there.
Tori Tibbetts, she's asking, where's the droid?
Oh, the droid's in the other room. My nephew Phoenix was playing with it the other day. The droid's in the other room. Sorry, Tori. It's I don't want to run and get it, but yeah, it's in the other room. It's here. It was being used. I promise, Tori. Our 6-year-old nephew Phoenix was sleeping over the other night, and we were playing Star Wars, of course. So
sorry, we're not being creepers here. It's fascinating.
It's all it's fine. I love it. That's honestly it's why it's here. So I'm happy that someone's appreciating all of my shit.
Okay, we're coming over.
Yeah, come up. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Where do you live?
Yeah.
Address, please.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And you got the Stone Pony book to your left. You left.
Yep. I do. I have.
Yeah.
I got Nick's book. I got the Warren Zanes Deliver Me from Nowhere book. The Jeremy Allen White book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the book, and my favorite part of the book, in the movie too, probably was the part where they're going through Bruce's notes, his own notes to John Landau about, because it reminds me of just the conversations I have with my friends about songs. It's being when I send James a demo, I don't know what this is, but and not it just gives for songwriters it's just cool to see that process, and that's why so many of us gravitate to Nebraska to begin with, I think. But then there's just so much of it that it just keeps revealing more to it. There's always more to discover with every listen I find.
So what's next for Bobby Mahoney? What do you got going on? I mean, what's in the plans?
You going to Disney?
For New Year's, yes, I am. Yeah, I'm sneaking away for a couple of days. Don't tell. I had to fit this in first, but so I'm going away for a couple of days after Christmas. But Light of Day is that big weekend. That's going to be a lot of fun. The January 15th through the 18th January.
What are you playing exactly, Bobby? You said the Stone Pony Friday night?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Friday night, and then the Friday night, the 16th. I'm guessing the full band will be on the earlier side. There's a bunch of bands, so I don't know exactly what time we play yet. But then, yeah, please catch the full band if you're watching. You're going to be there. I want you to see the full band. And then the after party, then at the Berkeley, the Midnight Mass. Bobby Mahoney and Tony Pellegrossi present. It's a fun night for sure.
It is.
And
it was fun. Yes.
yes. Tony always likes having a snappy name or something. Like at one point, it was like Bobby's Couch Concerts. And he's like, no, now it's the Midnight Mass. So I'm like, I like it. And Durso's like, I'm fine with it, but as a Catholic, I just can't condone it. I'm like, Joe, it's fine.
I didn't know he was that religious.
Apparently so, but he always like he has like busting my balls about that. He's always like the only time he ever bought a Bon Jovi ticket was to come see us open up for them. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Joe. Shout out to we love Joe Durso, and always having me on the Songwriters by the Sea growing up, and booking me on the Rockin' Bergen Festival they used to have, and bringing me to Europe last year. All the Light of Day guys. They've again Willie, Joe Durso, Jesse Malin, Joe Grishecki. They've all really taken me under their wing, and I can't thank them enough. And Grishecki said to me a couple of years ago, he said, "You've grown on me like a rash," and I do feel like that's how I generally feel about that whole group of guys. And like in the song "Moth to the Flame," I say, "I'm a bad, bad penny. I just keep turning up." And I've been here since I was 15. I'm 30 now, and yeah, I'm not going anywhere. So it's fun.
Are you putting out anything new?
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I was working. Yeah, so we're talking about Late Day, but so yeah, then working on new stuff. So Smoke and Drive will be on the next record as well. But we've started recording about 9 songs, so original songs. A couple other projects in the works as well. A couple of things, tricks up our sleeve. A couple weekender things we're working on. I'm gonna try to. I'd love to get back to Europe again at some point in the next year or two. We'll figure that out hopefully. And yeah, so if anyone in the world would like to see us play somewhere, shoot me a message because Andrew and I do all the booking. So
We definitely want to see you.
So BobbyMahoney.com, is that your website? Or Bobby Mahoney Music, did you say, Bobby?
BobbyMahoneyMusic.com. That's right. Yep. And then Bobby Mahoney Music on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, YouTube. I think we tried to make it I think it's all Bobby Mahoney Music for all of them, I think. And if you just kind of Google or throw my name into the void, you should find something.
No. Well, I take care of I make sure that when I see your stuff, I make sure we put it out there for you on Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Now, and I always love finding out information about where I'm playing for certain things through the Spring Nuts channels. So thank you.
If you don't know, just check with us. We'll tell you.
I do. It's good to know. No, it's nice to find. It's good. Cool.
Even if you're not playing there, we'll put you there.
Yeah, no, just throw my name and everything, and it would be for other people to figure out where I'm actually going to be or not. But yeah,
exactly. You never know.
All press is good press.
Doesn't cost
seriously.
anything.
That's right. But
see,
all you guys
playing the Garden next week, by the way.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Again, I'll be again. I might.
Pass?
Yeah. If I'm playing there next week, then yes.
Yeah.
If those, it's an if-then scenario. If one happens, then yes.
See,
The likelihood of.
It's your dream to be on the stage at the Garden. It's my dream to be backstage at the Garden.
Yeah. So I get that, and growing up seeing watching the Led Zeppelin concert movies, and it's the world's most famous parking garage back there. It really is. It's so funny because again, you walk out, you're like, oh my God, it's the Garden, but then you take 3 steps this way, it's like, where'd I leave my car? Because it just looks like a cement parking garage back there.
So ugly.
Yeah, but that's showbiz, and it's hollowed ground. Literally, it's amazing. So, it's never lost on me the coolness of getting to be anywhere near that stage. So, very blessed.
So, Bobby, one thing about you being a teacher, like your kids, like, do they know what you do? Do they find it wild? Are they looking you up on YouTube all the time? Like,
It depends on the kid. The one school I teach at, shout out to Fusion Academy in Princeton. They're an individualized school program. It's really amazing stuff. They like to brag for me to like the parents of the incoming families. So I usually don't have to, which is nice because I don't, this is not the easiest thing for me to do to be like, oh yeah, I opened for Bon Jovi. I don't usually open conversations like that, but they can do that for me, which is nice. So, but then the students themselves, again, some care. Some will be like, oh, like you got, man, I'll name drop. I'll be a star fucker. I'll be like, yeah, I hung out with this person. You know. But it depends on the student though, because some students they won't care at all. Others are like really into that and like want to know and like are really into like the. So like here's a funny thing that ties into the teaching. So Prudential Center, I'm on cloud nine. It's again, it's the best thing ever. Heroes, all that stuff, dreams. That's on a Sunday night. Monday morning at 8:30, I'm at my desk waiting for some shithead to walk in. No, I'm kidding. But that was a little bit of a reality check. That was a little bit of a slap in the face. 12 hours ago, I was eating at John Bon Jovi's chocolate fountain, and now I'm waiting for a kid to come in to teach him the piano. Okay, it's fine, whatever.
Major buzzkill.
A little bit, but that said, though, yes and no. Like I'm kidding, obviously, but like, it is a blessing, and like to get to even work with the kids, that's a blessing. And well, first of all, just to have a job, it is thank you. I like my paycheck, but being able to connect and like share what I do with the kids, there's not much rocking and rolling happening between 8:30 in the morning and 3:30 p.m. Most of us are sleeping. Typically, I'm not good at that. So, my nocturnal friends are like, yeah, you want to come hang? I'm like, yeah, I can come hang until I have to, then go to work, but I do love it though. And, I'd like to be able to keep doing it and like find ways to do it. So like, even if, I'd like to think if I'm doing stadiums eventually, I'd still do some Zoom lessons once in a while or something, I like doing it. It's fun.
Very cool.
Very cool.
I'd rather be making money playing music though all the time though, so don't get it twisted. But
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, buy the fucking record, everybody, please. Yeah.
Yes.
I got 3 quick questions for you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Do you remember first record, cassette tape, CD, whatever your medium was that you bought kind of like on your own?
I don't, and part of that is because I'm spoiled rotten.
Sounds like your parents were loading you up.
They had everything. How many of their CDs did I ruin over the years, though, is another question. I feel like it might have been probably some Bon Jovi record. I probably went out and because my parents had like the hits, like the Crossroads Greatest Hits compilation. But I probably was like, can I actually go out and buy like Slippery When Wet or something like that? But I don't remember specifically what it was.
Okay.
But I do remember when I asked my grandfather to bring over the guitar that he had, that was my mom's. He sat me down and like showed me a couple chords, and I played like Folsom Prison and showed me a couple of Johnny Cash tunes. But then my mom sat me down with the Harvest record, Neil Young, and said, pick something on this to learn. So then I picked Heart of Gold. So that was like the first song I learned on the guitar.
Wow. 2 great ways to learn, Johnny Cash and Neil Young.
That's it.
Next
then yeah.
Sorry, next time you see Gordon, ask him about his first record. Just ask him about his shoplifting experience.
I would love to. I'm gonna have to. Gordon's a character. I love Gordon so much. He's like my older brother.
Second question: first concert that you went to that you remember?
So the cool answer is Bon Jovi at Giant Stadium in 2005, when there was like a huge rainstorm and they had to cut the show early. But Living on a Prayer in Wanted Dead or Alive in a rainstorm as a first rock concert experience was pretty cool. But the less cool answer is probably actually Aaron Carter at PNC. I was a huge Aaron Carter fan before I got into rock and roll. I loved his cover of "I Want Candy" and Aaron's "Party Come Get It." I mean, come on, that's great stuff there. But yeah, I saw him at PNC with the A-Teens, and I got violently sick. So my parents had to take me out early. I was like 7. Like I probably ate too much popcorn and cotton candy or something. But then they brought me again to see him at this whatever the arena in Trenton is that changes names every couple of years. That's
Your insurance.
That's where I graduated. Yeah, that's where the Depends Arena.
Yes.
That's where I graduated. My high school graduation was there, for East Brunswick.
All right. Then my last question for you is kind of a two-parter. You played Madison Square Garden. You played Prudential. You got to open for John Bon Jovi. Anybody that you'd like to collaborate with on stage or on record that's out now, performing and still working?
Well, the obvious answer is like Bruce, but I've been able to jam with him at Light of Day a couple of times, or be on stage in his presence. I would love to actually collaborate on a song with him at some point, or I get that jam where he's aware that I'm there. That would be cool. But I did get to tell him about the record last year at Light of Day, though, so that was cool. He has heard the phrase "Another Deadbeat Summer," so I will take that. But other than that, I mean, like, there's so many. I mean, Brian Fallon was another one. Laura Jane Grace from Against Me. I'd also say Keith Richards or Mick Jagger, Paul McCartney. I mean, come on, if we're gonna go for it, let's go for it.
Dream big.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, but I'm also like very fortunate that so many of my like peers and friends of mine are people that I'm so grateful to play music with, and like we have Mark Macefield who's going to play keys he played on Smoke and Drive, and he's going to play on the record, and from Outside the Box, and plays with Dave House and Haas. I always forget how to say it. I'm always wrong either way. And a bunch of people. He's an amazing musician. So yeah, our friend Brian. I can say that out loud. We have a couple other things that we have in the works. We're getting a couple other special guests on the next record that I'm working on as well. So I did get my wife Rachel to sing on the next record, though.
Nice.
So that I'm very excited. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, she's got a great voice, and I'm very lucky that she supports me and does as much, of carrying the guitar as she does as well. So I'm very fortunate.
Somebody said earlier that they've heard her sing before, and she's excellent. So you're not the only one. She's got some fans out there.
She's great. Again, I think the Europeans, when she sings with me over there more than she does here, I think they come out for her more than me, I think. Maybe it's just Roz, I don't know. But she's great. She's like classically trained, did a lot of like theater stuff at school, and that's actually how we met. I was playing guitar in the pit, and she was on stage in drama club in high school, and we didn't start dating till after college. Until I got my shit together. She came to see, the first time she ever came to see me play was a place called the Meat Locker in Montclair, New Jersey, and it sounds like it is how it sounds. So the fact that she came to see me again is a miracle, and the fact that she married me is an even bigger miracle. So. Yeah.
The second part of that question is anybody that's passed on or is not playing anymore. They've retired. Is there anybody that you would like to play with on stage?
Well, I'll say Bon Scott, but I should have said AC/DC or Angus Young in the first part of the question. But getting to be on stage with Bon Scott would be fucking incredible. But Hendrix, I mean, I don't think I should be anywhere near the same stage as Hendrix. So I don't even think I should. I'm not going to insult Hendrix if I make him jam with me. I don't know. That's a good question. Bowie? Yeah, that's an interesting answer. I'll go with that. No, I don't know.
It's a tough
I'm
question.
sure there's a bunch I'm blanking on right now. Yeah, no, I'll come back to you. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna go, God damn it!
Oh,
And we're back.
Yeah. Call Howie. Get me back on Zoom. We got to do this again.
Part B. Somebody I know said they saw Hendrix open for the Monkees of all the bands in
Forest Hills.
Forest Hills.
Wow.
Forest Hills
Hendrix opening for the Monkees.
That is true.
That just like blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'd also like to. I'd love to work with Chappell Roan and/or Sabrina Carpenter also. So those are just throwing those out there too. I'd like to make a pop record and make $1 bajillion.
Tag them, please.
Yeah. Let them know. Yeah, let them know. If you're watching this, Sabrina, please call us. No.
Jack Antonoff.
Yeah. Have you ever worked with
Jack
Antonoff?
I wish call him too. Yeah, I love Jack. He's amazing. I wish. Yeah, I'd be like, I would love to. I've thought about 12 different jokes I can't say about other people I'm working with, and how upset they would be. But yeah, I would love to work with Jack. That'd be amazing.
Bobby, your friend Mike says, get Stanley Jordan to guitar for you.
I'm sorry, what was that, Ryan? And then
sorry, your friend Mike says, get Stanley Jordan to guitar for you. I don't know.
Stanley. I have to double check the name of that.
Okay.
I'm sure they're wonderful. And Howie?
Howie, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, it's my you have the same. Do you have the same electric guitar that Angus Young plays? I mean,
yeah,
I think I've seen that guitar.
Yeah, I usually play an Gibson SG.
Okay, so you're a very big AC. You're a very big AC. Yeah, so you're a very big AC/DC fan.
I have. It's a long way to the top.
Okay,
tattooed here.
All right, just making sure.
Awesome.
I've seen the guitar on you. I've seen the guitar, and I said, you know what? Now I'm making the thing. Go ahead.
That was it. No, Angus for me, for me, it's like Bruce and AC/DC, and then John Alba, it's AC/DC and Bruce. So our friendship was like this, I was gonna say someone who's passed along.
John is very big AC/DC.
Yeah, Warren Zevon for someone who's passed away. Yeah. I would have loved to have gotten to see him. I would love to have gotten to play with him. My mom got to see him at the Pony in the 80s or something like that. And my parents were both huge Warren Zevon fans. So
Bobby, I learned about this recently. Everly Brothers came from the same area that John Prine came from, down in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky. Warren Zevon's first job as a professional musician was playing piano for the Everly Brothers, which when I read that, I was like,
crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. It's absurd. It's almost like that you hear about Hendrix being the guitar player for
Little Richard.
Yes, thank you. Yes, yeah. And it's amazing. And Little Richard, I'd love to jam with him too. If we're I'm making a list now.
He's a very busy guy, but a lot of these guys are
absolutely, Hendrix, Little Richard, and Bobby Mahoney. The band is coming together.
The dream team.
That's it. There's so many great musicians and people in the community that we're all part of, and it's amazing to be part of it. And I'm just every day that I get to show up and play a show with people and be part of the community, I'm very grateful.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you again at Light of Day. So it'd be awesome to see you. And I will come to Midnight Mass for my first time this year. I will be there.
Have an extra coffee.
Yeah.
Me and Stan will be chugging coffee over in the corner.
Yeah.
That's it. And my mom too. Tea. There you go. Yeah. My mom's a big coffee person.
A lot of fun. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. This was really.
Yes, this has been fantastic, Bobby.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Wait, before you go, I just wanted to say, and then I'll let Ryan sign up, but I wanted to say, also on behalf of Spring Nuts, to thank you for, always sending videos when I ask you for the 10-year anniversary. I really appreciated that. And you've done it in the past as well. Thank you for your support. And again, anything we can do for you, we're always here for you as a group. Personally, whatever it is, we hear it. We love you, and your music, and we want to see you thrive. So whatever we can do, please reach out and let us know.
But when you get to MSG, we want backstage passes.
That's right.
That's the one thing.
That's right. Absolutely. We'll there's.
I have the same deal with Jake Thistle.
That's it. Absolutely sounds good.
The Wicked Cool Song Contest.
Yeah.
Vote in the Wicked Cool.
Yeah, please
Song
vote.
Contest.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, vote for that. Every 12 hours, people can vote for Smoke and Drive. And last year, Another Deadbeat Summer made it to the top 10. I think it was like number 4 or something, 4 or 7. I can't remember what number it made it to. But we'd love to make that happen for Smoke and Drive. So every 12 hours, keep voting, and people have found ways to vote multiple times. I'm not gonna, I don't know, I'm not gonna fraudulent ballots or anything like that. None of that. But who knows? But vote as much as possible. We appreciate the support.
For anybody out there, if you've not heard Bobby, seriously, check out Another Deadbeat Summer. It's available everywhere. It's fantastic.
Smoke and Drive.
Smoke and Drive. Yeah. Check him out. Definitely worth the time to listen and hear some new music. Thank you everybody out there for watching. Bobby, we seriously, we appreciate you taking the time. We know you're a busy man. You're a professional musician. You're teaching. You got all kinds of irons in the fire. So we appreciate you taking the time to do this, especially around the holiday. We hope you enjoy your side trip to Disney. Is that your happy place? Like if you're ever like having a terrible day, do you just like drift off and you're in Disney World?
It's not exactly very punk rock of me to say so, but yeah, kind of. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Again, growing up, I was able to go a bunch as a kid. So yeah, just it was my first Asbury Park. It was just like it's where magic happens. That's a nice way to tie that up. But yeah, absolutely. No, if I can't be at Asbury Park, I'll take Disney World, I guess.
Nice. Well, we hope you enjoy your trip and have a good time, and we'll see you at Light of Day. Everybody out there, if you don't know, go to Light of Day. It's a fantastic weekend. It's a 2 weeks long experience. But if you do nothing else, go to Asbury on Friday. Go to the Stone Pony. Go to Bob's Big Bash on Saturday. It's well worth the time, and it's for a great cause, and they're doing great work.
It's gonna be great. And if you throw a rock in Asbury that weekend, you might hit me. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Thanks again. See you all then. Have a good one. Love you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
You guys too.
Holidays, everybody.
All right.
All right. We are out.
Good night.
Sweet.
Are we no longer live?
Now we're live.